Hello students, in today's session we will see unit 2, that is Algae, and the name of the module is Morphology of Nostoc, module number 24. In this session we will see the classification of the Nostoc and morphology of Nostoc. At the end of this session we will be able to classify the Nostoc, explain the structure of Nostoc, and based on the structure of Nostoc we will identify the Nostoc. Come to its systematic position or classification, Nostoc belongs to division Cyanophyta, which is also known as photosynthetic bacteria. Now it has the bacterial characters and they have the chlorophyll, and hence they can do the photosynthesis, hence they are called as photosynthetic bacteria. It belongs to class Cyanophyceae. Member of this class Cyanophyceae, they have the pigments like phycoerythrin and phycocyanin in addition to chlorophyll, and hence they get the color blue green. So they are also referred as blue green algae. It belongs to order Nostocales, as the trichome of this Nostoc, they have heterogeneous cells, that is they have two kind of cells. One is normal vegetative cell and another type of cell which is specialized cell known as heterocyst. The family is Nostocaceae, where the colonies are enclosed in gelatinous mass, and the genus is Nostoc. Now this Nostoc is found in fresh water as well as terrestrial, that means it is found in water as well as on the land, and it is abundantly found in paddy fields. Now some of the species of the Nostoc, that is mainly the terrestrial species, they grow on moist soil intermingled with mosses or lichens, and some species of Nostoc, they also form the algal components of the lichens, that is they form the symbiotic association with fungi forming the lichens. Some species of Nostoc, they are also found as endophytes. Endophytes are the organism which grows within the living parts of the plants. So some of these Nostocs, they are found in the thallus of liverworts. You can see here, if we take the TS of liverwort, that is Anthoceros, we can see the Nostoc colony inside it. Some of these species are also found inside the stem of the plant known as Gunera. You can see the Nostoc colony inside the stem. It is living as endophyte, stem endophyte, and some of the species are also found in the coralloid root of cycas. Now if you take the TS of coralloid root of cycas, we can see this greenish colony, that is the Nostoc colony staying inside the coralloid root of cycas. Now, aquatic species which are found, they are either attached to the substratum or they may be free floating in the ponds of stagnant water, forming a bluish green scum on the surface of this water, and some of the species may be either submerged or they are lying at the bottom of the pools. Coming to the morphology of Nostoc, it is a filamentous form, and these filaments are aggregated within the mucilage envelope, forming a ball-like colony. You can see here the ball-like structure of this Nostoc colony, and these colonies are either bluish green or they are green in color. Now each of the colony, they contains numerous contorted or twisted filaments. You can see there are many filaments which are embedded in the colony. They are also called as trichomes, and each trichome is again enveloped in a thin mucilaginous sheath, and the sheaths of adjoining trichomes, they fuse to form the common gelatinous matrix of the colony. You can see here a common gelatinous matrix of the colony. So each trichome is enveloped by a thin mucilaginous hyaline or colored sheath, and the whole structure is called as filament. Like you can see here, this is the trichome, single filament is called as trichome, and when trichome is enveloped in a sheath, hyaline sheath, it is called as filament. each filament is simple, it is unbranched, they may be contorted or twisted and sometimes intertwined. Yeah. Each filament consists of a row of oval to rounded cells which are arranged like a beads on a string, and this bead like structure is called as moniliform structure. Now, in a filament, if you see, all the cells are not alike. All the cells in the filament are not alike. At certain places you can see some of the cells, they are larger, they are rounded and they are thick walled, having a transparent content inside, and these cells are referred as heterocysts. Now, heterocysts, they have two polar nodules or granules. At the end of this heterocyst you can see two polar nodules, and when the heterocyst has two polar nodules, they are intercalary in position, and very rarely or sometimes this heterocyst can be with only one polar nodule, and if heterocyst has only one polar nodule, then they are placed terminally. Under certain conditions, these vegetative cells, they enlarges, they stores the food material and they gets thickened, forming a resting bodies which are called as akinets or the resting spores. These are the akinets, where you can see they are filled with the granules, and these akinets are well adapted to survive under unfavorable conditions like water shortage and unsuitable temperature. Now, each of the cell of the nostoc, it consists of cell wall surrounding the protoplast, and the protoplast here is differentiated into outer region which is called as chromoplasm and the inner region called as centroplasm. Now, chromoplasm is pigmented and it has a pigments like phycocyanin, phycoerythrin, chlorophyll A, etc., and these pigments imparts the blue-green color to the algae. Now, this chromoplasm, it also contains cyanophycean starch and granular proteins. This inner region, that is centroplasm, it is colorless and it contains incipient nucleus. Incipient nucleus meaning the primitive nucleus which has only the genetic material dispersed into the cytoplasm. That means there is no true nucleus. These are my references. Thank you.